Hi there folks, Kevin Tracy here, and it's been a while since I uploaded an art video. Wait a minute, has it really been 4 years? Holy crap. Well, I see in that time that my subscriber count grew faster than when I was producing videos once a week. I kind of wonder if that means I should keep producing no content to keep the algorithm happy. All joking aside, I'll provide an explanation for my absence in the next video. But to summarize, it has been a very crazy 4 years, and it feels like it's only been like 4 months. During this time, I've still been creating art, and I've been recording some of it, and that's what you're seeing here. Back in the year 2022, my Air Force buddy Semp, yes, that's comic Semp, finished his 20-year stint and announced he was retiring from the United States Air Force. About 3 months before his retirement party, Beth, yes, that's comic Beth, wanted to print a frame from the MS Paint comic and give it to Semp as a retirement present. Only I knew that blowing up the comic art like that would probably look uglier than Joe Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan, so I told her I would create a custom piece instead. Well, about a week before the retirement party, after Beth had been seriously freaking out, I got to work. This weird grid with the curves creates what is called 5-point perspective. It's a 5-point perspective grid. When the grid is small relative to the art piece, it gives you kind of like a fisheye lens. And when the grid is large, I find it gives a very natural three-dimensional effect similar to human vision. Since we all work together in a giant cube-shaped building with no windows, and the closest thing to visual interest I can think of was a huge parking lot where our friend Rich's car got caught on fire one time, I decided to have us all sitting on the wing of a U-2 Dragon Lady spy plane on the tarmac of Beale Air Force Base, and I sketched that out in Paint.net with my drawing tablet, and once happy, I brought it over to MS Paint where I kind of did the fine-tuning and the rest of the work. So, I get this question a lot. What did we do in the Air Force? Well, unlike you find in the MS Paint comic, which is like an abstract autobiography, we were not hunting a wizard, we were not fighting winky guardsmen, we were not dodging flying monkeys. We were operations intelligence analysts, or 1 and O's in AFSC speak. While I was in, we were rotating between working as correlation analysts during U2 missions, the first Global Hawk missions, and running the intel shop that briefed and supported mission crews, as well as the guys on the ground, although somewhat indirectly. Now, I don't know if that sounds really interesting or really boring. If it sounds like both, then it's a pretty accurate description of the job. The truth of the matter is that we did some really important work that eventually resulted in either the lives and limbs of some people being saved, or the lives and limbs of some people being destroyed because they were very bad people in the very early years in the global war on terrorism. Unfortunately, the nature of most intelligence work is that it's not like it is in the movies, and you don't get to see if your intelligence products are used or all the ways that they're being used and what actions were taken based on the work that you did. In fact, it was years after I got out of the Air Force, and I met a Marine veteran in college, and he told me the story about his convoy being diverted moments before passing an IED that one of our mission teams actually saw being planted. Now, I can give more details than this, but I don't want my house to be raided by the FBI. I don't want to be arrested and convicted for sharing state secrets on YouTube, and I really don't want to become a trans woman, since that or a connection to the Clintons is like the only way to get a pardon for treason. Besides that, my memory of all the top secret shit we did has only gotten foggier over the years, which I'm somewhat grateful for. Keeping state secrets, after all, is a hell of a lot easier when you don't actually remember any state secrets. So, details aside, I actually remembered working the mission the Marine was talking about because of the date, which was someone's birthday, and the unique area that the IED was planted. That feedback from the Marine was more feedback than I received throughout my entire time in the Air Force. And you know what's weird? It didn't matter. I mean, it mattered to the Marine. I'm saying it didn't really matter to me because I knew in principle all along that the work we did resulted in saved lives or violently ended lives, depending on which side you're on. That's what the military does. I didn't drop a bomb, but I did help find the targets. I didn't disarm any explosives, but I did help find them. And even then, our imagery analysts, who completely outclassed me in their ability to read pixels, which seems insane, I know, did a lot of that grunt work. And even then, there was some officer flying the plane. Someone else had to program the camera. Someone else had to plan the flight route. Like, we're each a little pixel in an artwork of death and destruction, the likes of which have never been seen before on this planet. And honestly, I joined the Air Force after 9/11 for the worst reasons. Mainly to get revenge and turn some jihadis into glass. Still, although I did it for the wrong reasons, it was the best decision I ever made. The Air Force taught me how to learn, and even more importantly than that, I met a lot of really, truly remarkable people that I consider family to this day. Hence why 20 years later, I'm making a video about creating art for one of their retirement parties. In pixel art, each individual pixel seems pretty insignificant when examined alone. It is. However, each individual pixel finds meaning and importance in the context of the whole. Replace one dark gray pixel in any of these characters' boots with a white pixel, and despite being just 1 out of 1,430,256 pixels in this piece, it's going to stand out like a sore thumb and ruin the entire effect. Every pixel has a job to do. You learn your place and importance in the context of the whole. As a result, the most cherished thing that came out of my time in the Air Force is not any number of unknown lives we saved by finding roadside bombs and killing the jerks who made them and planted them. It wasn't the skills I learned or the experiences I gained in the process. The most important, enduring thing that will last until the end of my life are the unbreakable bonds that were formed with the pixels I had the extreme honor of serving next to. When Katie and I flew to Florida for Sam's retirement party to present this piece to him, I tried really hard to get that message across to everybody in attendance. It just might have been lost a little bit in my roast of Semp, but man, I'll tell you what, this brotherhood is real, and I am so blessed to have been a part of it. Tracy, Semp and I served together at Beale Air Force Base way back at the beginning. Yeah. They say when you really love someone and you really respect someone, that you can do these speeches from the heart. Yeah. Now, before I start roasting Semp, can we first of all get a huge round of applause for Beth, who put all this together? It's a lot of hard work. We always go to Beth. And also, come on, guys, give yourselves a round of applause for coming out here and supporting Semp. You have no idea how happy it makes Semp thinking he has friends. Dude, Semp, can you believe it's been 20 years since we enlisted? You are an old fart, dude. I was actually surprised that they let you retire. I know you've been in for 20 years, but I did the math last night, and I figured with all the smoke breaks, you actually only put in 8 years. Seriously, so Semp, congratulations on becoming a pensioner. It's a really big deal. To commemorate that, Beth had this idea to pick out a frame. By the way, everybody, I drew a comic book about my time in the Air Force, and Semp is a character in the comic book, and Beth had this idea to create a print of one of the frames of the comic and send it around and have everybody sign it. Well, I've done this before, and when you blow up the comic stuff, it doesn't look very good. So I told her I'd create a custom piece, because I knew if I blew it up, I mean, it would probably look about as shitty as our withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not bad. So I told her instead I'd create a custom piece and try to get it to her soon enough so she can send it out and collect everyone's signatures. Well, you know me well enough to know I'm a procrastinator. And I also got a little bit carried away learning how to draw a 5-point perspective in MS Paint, which is like a fisheye lens for those of you who are unaware of the arts. And anyways, I got it done, but we didn't have time to get the signatures from everybody. But Beth and I are going to work on that for you. And my point is right now, though, is that you're lucky to get anything at all these times. Well, your mom is here, isn't she? Yeah. I am so sorry. You should be ashamed of your son for having friends like that. Anyway, Semp, this was seriously a major pain in the crotch. But at the end of the day, I thought you deserved something original commemorating your Air Force service. Semp, this is an honor. Semp, this is an honor of you And all those times that you covered for me, well, I was drawing in MS Paint and I should have been working on the mission stuff. So thank you. Not a problem. Not a problem. The thing that sucks about Intel, though, is that once you're out, you really can't talk about your service in any kind of detail. As we've seen in the news lately, the government takes classified information very seriously, and there can be some very severe consequences unless your name is Hillary Clinton. Eventually, the memories of your work will dim and eventually disappear, and all that's left, all that you'll really remember and never forget, and all that'll really matter to you, will be the men and women that you serve with. This brotherhood, this family, it's real. We're not friends, we're brothers and sisters. No matter how much time goes by, those bonds do not fade. While I know that what I did in the Air Force was important, the treasure won from that adventure, the truly awesome part of the adventure, was the honor of sharing that adventure with you and Beth and Matt and Lee and EJ, Simone, Otter, Warner, Afshari, Lachlan, Sparks, Doolittle, Tyson, and everyone else that we work with, even Armbruster. That and the disability check I get from the VA is really awesome too. Anyway, when you see this poster and reflect on your career, I want you to remember where it all started, back at Beale Air Force Base, and it's not just us, but also all the incredible people that you've had the honor of sharing your adventure with. I think I can speak for all of us here when I say that we're honored to have had you in our adventure, and if you ever need anything, we're here for you just like we know that you'd be there for us. God bless you, Seth, and cheers to your next adventure. So, if you're one of the hundreds of people who subscribed during my hiatus, let me know if you hate my guts for coming back and making new content. And if you're a longtime follower, stick around. In my next video, I'll be talking about the crazy adventure during my hiatus from making videos. And if you're not subscribed but like this content, hit that subscribe button and sign up for notifications, because in my next video, I'm going to show the making of what I truly consider my greatest MS Paint masterpiece. Alright, in the meantime, here's some other stuff to watch. If you want to learn more about me, check out this video of me animating in MS Paint, sort of. And alternatively, our AI overlords think you might like the other video that's there based on your viewing history and algorithm stuff.